episode of the Otakuverse, a new segment that, as you've already seen a couple times so far on Box Office QBs, is going to start taking off. And now that we're having some of these seasons of the summer anime ending, we're going to really start hitting a roll here. We're going to have my friend Derek come on. He's going to be doing some stuff. We're going to talk old anime, new anime, theories, conspiracies, a whole bunch of different things that we can do through the anime and shonen manga world. So we're going to get started today, though, with why we're here. It's Kaiju number 8, which has quickly become one of the most popular shonen anime out there right now, running on Crunchyroll every Saturday at 7 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. Central. There are 12 episodes for the first season. We are now done. So we've been watching this for about 3 months now, and it really just took off. And I don't know what it was. Kaiju number 8 was it's a show that has the silliness and the hilarity of the old animes, the Naruto's, and still like it. Actually, I would even say the newer ones like Chainsaw Man. Like Chainsaw Man is a completely different kind of funny, but I found myself, if there was a way to measure laughter intensity, I would say Kaiju and Chainsaw Man had me laughing at about the same amount of intensity, while also having a story that is really gripping, really emotional. It builds the world great. It builds all the side characters: Mina, Ichikawa, Shinomiya, even Aoi, who really didn't even. He has more of a backstory here than he had so far in the manga, from what I remember reading. They expand on characters. Hoshina, they really find ways to make this world feel lived in and feel with a story like Attack on Titan, in the sense of like humans facing this big external force that is non-human. It has great fights, really. Really, the only thing I would complain about this show is that sometimes some of the detail gets lost when it's being translated from manga to the anime. The facial detail, I heard one critique say that the characters look like Mii's from the old Wii commercial games, and that's not entirely wrong. Up until when they fight, the animation turns it up a notch. We really start to see it at its finest there. But it's really just it's a different story. Me and Jeff, whenever he did the first one, he's not able to join us. He wasn't able to keep up with the show, but and we're recording this literally 5 minutes after season 1 ends. Which, by the way, breaking news: season 2 was announced right after on Twitter. They will be working on season 2, and that's coming as soon as possible, hopefully within the next year or so. But let's not get a Mappa situation. No JJK season 2 situation, please. Let's keep the animation at where it's at, or make it better. If they can make it better, that'd be even greater. And then, like, there were some characters like Kaiju number 9. When Kaiju number 9 was introduced in the manga, he's a lot bigger and he looks small, kind of scrawny in the anime. But that's besides the fact. And then one other thing, like just a quick comparison between the manga and anime. I definitely thought Director Shinomiya was going to be white haired. I know that in manga, white could be white or blonde hair, and with Shinomiya being blonde, it was probably coming. But in the manga and even in the show, Director Shinomiya discusses and mentions how it's the next generation. We have to let them take over because we're not going to be here forever. In the show, it does not in the show, in the manga and in the show, it kind of comes off like he's near the end of his career. Maybe even thinking about retirement, thinking about the future. Now, some things happen right in the next few manga. Like I would say by episode 4 or 5 of season 2, you guys are going to be shitting your pants. But I definitely thought he could be, the old white voice, old white hair man. But we still don't have that, which is interesting because we do have a lot of like that purple shade in this. I mean, Mina's got kind of like that purplish red shade with the green whenever she powers up. Hoshina's purple. Now that we've got Jin Narumi here, he's got that pinkish purple hair thing, and like a lot of eyes are that reddish purple color as well. I really like it. Don't get me wrong. Purple is one of my favorite fucking colors, so I'll take it. But it's just something that I've noticed and picked up on. Now let's talk voice actors. Now I'm watching this in the Japanese dub. If you watch it in the English Japanese sub, excuse me. If you watch it in the English dub, there's no shame against it. I do like it in the Japanese dub, and if you see it in the Japanese sub, you might recognize some voices because there is some great ensemble of voices in this show. For example, the voice of Mina is Asami Seto, who is also the voice of Nobara from JJK. We've got Feruze, who, and excuse me if I'm saying that wrong. Very much apologize, but you might recognize her. She's been in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. She's obviously been in Kaiju, Chainsaw Man. She was Power in Chainsaw Man. So if you saw the first season of Chainsaw Man, you might recognize her from there. She was in a Solo Leveling Arise. I think that's the video game for Solo Leveling. I don't believe she was in Solo Leveling, but she was in Ronin, the video game on PlayStation 5, which I still haven't yet to play. Hoshina is another character voiced by Kengo Kawanishi, who he's been in a ton of stuff as well, including Naruto Shippuden, Boruto, Demon Slayer as Muichiro. We've seen him in a lot and heard him in a lot of different things. And that's not it. And director Shinomiya, you might recognize him because that's Tesho Genda, who is also actually, and it might be if you're a Naruto fan, you can kind of see I might fucking be, but it's the voice of Kurama. So yeah, we've got a ton of great voices in this show. A lot of good animation, fun storytelling. It matches up with the manga pretty well. We're about 36 chapters through right now, and you really saw the beginning of I think chapter 37 at the end credits of the last episode this season, where everybody was getting the email saying that Kafka was not going to be put down. Actually, that right after that is whenever Shinomiya is about to be moved teams. Shinomiya and Kafka are now going to be moving to another team. They're going to be working with Jin Narumi, and then Ichikawa gets moved to a team. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen next season. We're going to spoil it a little bit, but those numbered weapons are going to become a big thing. We're going to get certain characters having certain weapons with the numbered kaiju from the past, and we're going to see them doing stuff. We're going to see how Kafka is able to do things. Kafka was finally able to win a battle for himself, as it was mentioned at the end of episode 12 in season 1. So how is he going to be able to take that experience and really get better now that he's out? Is he going to be able to prove that he's worth it and that he can help save everybody? What is Kafka going to be able to do? There's going to be some struggle. There's going to be some struggle. It is a shonen anime. He is the MC. Even though he's not 15 and he's 32 instead, it's a little more realistic. I would fully expect some emotional trauma, some mental blockade from keeping him from being able to do what he wants or what he needs to do. Because I've read, I think, about 50 something chapters, maybe 60, and I'm going to get further in ahead of season 2, and I'm actually picking it up again right now. But I believe that even at 60, we haven't seen Kafka right by Mina's side. But when you get to that point, it's going to be pretty great. So I'm excited to see what they do. They've added some things. They changed some things up. For example, at the end of episode 12, where Kaiju number 10 is making his plans and everything, he wasn't doing that in the manga. He wasn't playing chess. He wasn't evaluating all the humans' intelligence. But I do like that. It's an interesting ad. I don't recall, and I need to run through it, so I might edit this out. But depending on how long it takes me to get to the editing portion. But Hoshino's backstory, it's kind of mentioned and talked about a little bit in the manga, but we get more in depth in the anime, and I really appreciate that because Hoshino's become one of my favorite characters. And in fact, we're going to go ahead and talk about who my favorite characters were, and I really want to hear who you guys were. Hoshino is probably my favorite next to Mina. Kafka is also really fun, but honestly, director Shinomiya, he has this tenacity, this. I don't even know, this fierce tenacity, I guess. I don't even know if that's the right way to say it, but he's so intense. And I like when he looks up at and he tells him to release Kafka, and he's like, he can get out if he wants to. And like they're like, yeah, but that's a kaiju. And he's like, do you know who I am? Like I love it. I love it. So we'll see. Those are some of my favorite characters. I really don't have any least favorite characters. I think Aoi. I was expecting a little more badassery out of him. I don't know, but most of the side characters are getting done pretty well justice, and I did like how they added from in the anime a lot of the Team 3 pulling together and really rooting and pulling for Kafka. So with that being said, I do want to say that, and my top anime include like Naruto Shippuden, Attack on Titan, DBZ, Kaiju is now in that top. JJK, Naruto, DBS, Berserk. So like, but I think I have to put Kaiju number 8 in the top. Like at least right now, it's great. It's funny. The action's good. The animation's fun. The story is captivating. Um, the powers are cool. It's just it's a really fun world to play in and just get lost in. So I'm giving this one for season 1 a Hall of Fame, and it pulls up the expectations really high for season 2. I'm excited to see what it is. It's going to be a little more world building. It's going to shake some things up, but there's going to be some big fights. And one thing I do want to say before I go is that I've noticed that because this anime has become so popular, and with anime becoming more of a popular thing over the past couple of years. Um, a lot of the basic critiques of this is that at the end of every episode, we end up getting that song, and we all know what it is. But and it's right at this big cliffhanger. You are watching a shonen anime. That is what's going to happen. I don't know if you are aware of this, but for those who haven't watched a ton of anime, go look up the Dragon Ball Z Goku versus Frieza fight. It's like 40 something episodes long. It's in the goddamn U.S. Library of Congress because of how long it is, and all the cliffhangers in that one. Anime end on cliffhangers. That's what they do, especially during major arcs. And in the pilot, in the first season, you jump right into the big training, the big first initial arc. You're going to get these cliffhangers. It's not a bad thing. It's what makes it great. It's what makes it great because it's what brings you back every week. And that's just what anime does. So if you liked, if you really did like Kaiju number 8, I think you would like probably My Hero Academia. Get into that. Seasons 4 and 5 kind of really slow down, but season 6 picks up a lot. And season 7's been going off the rails. We'll be talking about that one probably if there's a mid-season break. Another one, again, Chainsaw Man was previously mentioned. There's only one season out of that right now. That one's on Hulu. Demon Slayer is a great one to watch if you like this. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is a good one to watch if you like this. A lot of those are some good shows for those who are not as deep into anime as I might be. But that's all we're going to have for today. Remember to enjoy your anime. Wake up early on Saturdays. Watch those cartoons. Have some coffee. And anything else that you might enjoy in the mornings. For Box Office QBs and the Otakuverse, this has been Gerald. Thank you for joining. Next time we'll probably have Derek, and we'll be talking a little bit of something, maybe some old anime. Derek and I really like to talk about Dragon Ball Z, so maybe we'll have some conspiracies or arguments about DBZ or Naruto on there. One time we had a whole 45-minute conversation where we discussed why the third Hokage fucked everything up. If you want to hear about that, let me know, and maybe we'll do that one. So that's it. Make sure you follow us on social media, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Time